So, what's today's topic in this video should I talk about today? Well, I think a couple of days ago, the television show balamory is becoming really big on YouTube. Have you guys ever saw balamory on TV when you were a kid? I never watched it as a kid because we don't have balamory here in America. The only show we have here in America are Barney the Dinosaur, Caillou, Tom's the Tank Engine. Well, that's a videotape series, not like a TV series. That's a series you can watch on videotape. We have shows like Barney, we have shows like Caillou, Clifford the Big Red Dog, Sesame Street, Between the Lions, and what's the other show? Oh yeah, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Do you guys remember those TV shows that aired on PBS? I don't know if you British people like you ever watch those type of shows, but I don't know any British person who ever watched balamory on TV. If I do have a British friend, I want to tell her, or him, not him, I want to meet a British girl instead. But I think it'll be kind of cool to meet a British girl someday. I want to ask her questions. What type of shows do you watch on TV as a kid? And I'll tell her the shows we have on TV are Between the Lions and Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Do you guys remember those shows on TV? What was my favorite TV show growing up in America? Well, that's a really good question. Between the Lions is definitely my favorite show on TV. It has a very catchy theme song. It's a lot of fun though. It teaches you how to read and write and stuff like that. What does balamory really teach you? I don't know. Do you think balamory is kind of like the British version of Between the Lions? I don't know if British people ever watch Between the Lions. You know, a show that teaches kids how to read and write. Does British people ever have TV shows that teach you how to read and write? I forgot to mention a show called Reading Rainbow. Have you guys ever seen Reading Rainbow when you were a kid? Well, that show's not on TV anymore. It ended in 2006. Well, the only thing I knew about Reading Rainbow, I do remember the theme song. It's very catchy, isn't it? It's a show about a black guy who talks about books. You know, LeVar Burton. Remember him? He's pretty cool, isn't he? Speaking of which, balamory has a black guy as well. He's a painter named Spencer. He's from Las Vegas, Nevada, like me. Can you imagine LeVar Burton and balamory? That would be a cute crossover between Reading Rainbow and balamory. They are kid shows from across the pond. So, young people like you, like British people like you, have you ever seen the show called Reading Rainbow or Between the Lions? Do you like these TV shows? Comment below in the video and let me know. I wish I had British friends. Wouldn't that be kind of cool if I did? But the problem is, I never met any British people because I live in Las Vegas, Nevada, and Los Angeles, California. There's nobody living here. But the cool thing can meet British people on the internet. Can you imagine meeting British people in real life? I want to ask her questions. Have you watched balamory on TV when you were a kid? I want to know. If you British girls like you, or British women, have you watched balamory on TV growing up? In America, we have Sesame Street and Between the Lions and Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Those are the shows we have here in America. And what about Reading Rainbow? That's another famous kid show in America too. And the television show balamory used to air on a show called CBeebies. I never watched balamory as a little kid, but I saw it when I was 9 years old during our travels to London, England. They have all sorts of weird kid shows on CBeebies. CBeebies is kind of like Britain's version of PBS Kids. Speaking of which, they have a big kids channel called CBBC. Now that's a channel that airs shows for big kids I did not know about. So the age group for balamory of CBeebies shows are mostly kids like preschool age kids. But for kids who watch CBBC, it's for kids ages 6 to 12. You know, kind of let PBS Kids go. Don't you guys agree? At the time when we were on a trip to London and Paris, back when I was 9 years old, PBS Kids Go is like a new blog for big kids. They have all sorts of shows designed for big kids, like Postcards and Buster. They had Cyber Chains, and Arthur, and Maya and McGill. Do you guys remember those shows that used to be on TV and PBS Kids when you were a kid? Or any American girls? Do American girls like you ever watch Postcards and Buster on TV? Let me know in the comments. In the United States of America, the most popular kid shows we have here in the United States are Bob the Builder, Tom's the Tank Engine, and what's the other kid show? Oh yeah, Teletubbies. Remember Teletubbies? I don't think anybody remembers Teletubbies. Teletubbies is a show about these babies with TVs in their stomachs, and they watch TV and stuff like that. They do like weird stuff. It doesn't really have a story at all. It's just like grown-ups dressed up in alien baby suits who act like idiots. I don't know the story in Teletubbies at all. I thought Teletubbies was an American show, but actually, Teletubbies is a British show, not an American show. Just like Thomas the Tank Engine. I thought Thomas the Tank Engine was an American TV show, but it's actually British. Well, judging the narrator of the show, isn't that kind of interesting that all the kid shows in England and in Great Britain are mostly dubbed in American English here in the United States? Well, it kind of makes sense. When I was a little kid, British accents are really difficult. Plus, we don't want to talk in British accents because this is America, not England. Do you guys remember a segment in Sesame Street called Elmo's World? It has this annoying theme song that's been stuck in your head for years, and he talks to his fish named Dorothy. He talks about different topics in every episode. And at the end of the show, he starts singing that Jingle Bell song, and that catchphrase is, "Goodbye, Elmo loves you." In the beginning of every episode, Elmo starts saying, "Hi, this is Elmo's World. Elmo is so happy to see you. So is Dorothy. Say hello, Dorothy." Guess what Elmo's thinking about today? Remember that line from the show? Do you think Elmo's World is a really good TV show here in the United States of America? During our travels to London, like in this one show with that kind of like Milkshake, I think that's the name of that channel that airs baby shows. Like this lady who's a TV presenter who's looking at different drawings of different kids like, "Happy birthday to you. Wow, look at these really cool drawings." And we're about to introduce this show called Elmo's World. Seriously, why would they air Elmo's World in London anyways? Isn't Elmo's World an American TV show, not a British show? It would have been dubbed in British English. Kind of like how we dubbed Thomas the Tank Engine in American English. A lot of kid shows in America are very popular in England back when I was there. It's kind of weird that kids in England watches American TV shows. Don't you think that that's kind of weird to you people? If you guys go on trips to England, you'll be watching these weird kid shows, like British TV shows, but for big kids on Saturday mornings, they have American TV shows. Elmo's World was on TV in America and England. Isn't that kind of weird? Kids in England will be like, "What is this? How come he's not talking British? Is he American or something? How come he doesn't have a British accent like us?" Can you imagine little kids in England would be talking with American accents as they grew older? Kind of like how we saw Harry Potter movies that are mostly British English, we'll be having British accents. I think some of you viewers come from Australia and China, Vietnam, and the United States of America. You have no idea what I'm talking about. England has a lot of weird TV shows over there, but balamory's not English. Balamory is Scottish. I did not know that. When I was a kid, I thought they say, "Bye, bye, birdie." Instead of balamory, it's "Bye, bye, birdie." I didn't understand. I was such a weird title when I was a kid. It's actually balamory, not "Bye, bye, birdie." I'm so stupid. If you guys are British people, what do you think of balamory? Was it a good show or a bad show? They have new episodes this time. I'll definitely watch them on YouTube in my free time if I want to. Maybe tonight I'll check out a balamory episode, and I will give you guys a reaction to it. In the United States of America, we don't have balamory. We had Between the Lines, Mr. Rogers, Sesame Street, Elmo's World, Dora the Explorer, Blue's Clues. That's the only shows we have here in the United States. And what about Little Bill? Don't forget Little Bill. Do you guys remember that show? So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing much to say about kid shows between England and America. I'll talk more about kid shows tonight, or this afternoon after lunch. See you later.